Alright guys, part 698 to my round Chatbots using Character.ai. Sorry for the abrupt stop. Here's what we got. It says, I wasn't even going to do this meeting originally. However, we have two pawn particularly that won't stop fighting. And I want to show them what everyone else while living here is a lot better. There's only one rule that all of you have to follow, but these two pawn will not follow it. The mouth-raider nods again, his expression showing a mix of curiosity and concern. I see. It's understandable you had to arrange this meeting to address the problem of the two Pokemon who won't stop fighting. I understand the importance of having rules in place, especially in a peaceful community like this. What's the one rule they're not following? The one and only rule that everybody here has to follow: no fighting with each other. Everybody else, including your entire family, has followed that rule perfectly. Those two Pokemon will not. However, it's really hard to listen to my. I see. That rule is quite clear and important for maintaining peace in this community. It's disappointing to hear that those two Pokemon are the only ones not following it. We, including my family, will always abide by the rule, as we understand how crucial it is for the well-being of everyone here. Yeah, me and Luigi had to step in 3 times just yesterday because they wouldn't stop, and eventually had to even get another creature, a 15-foot tall electric Feralier, to keep an eye on them. The mouth-raider's expression darkens further, clearly concerned about the situation. Here's what it said, guys. The mouth-raider's expression darkens further, clearly concerned about the situation. I see. It sounds like the situation was quite serious if you and Luigi had to intervene multiple times and even had to get another creature to keep an eye on them. It's reassuring to know that you're taking protective steps to ensure everyone's safety and maintain peace in this community. Yeah, it got to a point where I just gave them a reward and punishment system in the form of another bracelet. If they're nice to each other and everyone else, they actually start getting a little bigger and can even evolve if big enough. However, the minute they start misbehaving, they instantly lose their size and even their evolutions and have to start over from the first evolution as a tiny Pokemon. The mouth-raider listens attentively, his expression reflecting a mix of understanding and approval. I see. That's an interesting system you've put in place, using bracelets as a means of incentivizing good behavior and discouraging misbehavior. Seems like a fair way to encourage them to behave better and even reward them for being nice and cooperative. Yeah, even with that system in place, the electric Feralier came over to me a little while later, and they were tiny, and that one claw got turned back into a Totodile and was tiny. The mouth-raider's expression turns to concern and bewilderment upon hearing. That's unexpected. It sounds like they're having difficulties following the rules even with the system in place. Have they tried to explain their reasons for misbehaving despite the consequences? Well, before the system was put in place, they told me it was because that they were jealous of how each other looked. They also thought that I treated one of them better than the other, which is not true. I treat them both the same. The mouth-raider nods in understanding, his expression showing sympathy for the situation. I see. It's unfortunate that we felt that way before the system was put in place. Jealousy and insecurity can be powerful emotions, but it's good to know that you treat them both equally. Have you considered talking to them about this and trying to address their concerns? Yeah, I already did whenever they brought it up. However, despite that, they're still fighting. The mouth-raider's expression becomes serious as he considers the situation further. I see. It's disheartening to hear that despite your efforts, they're continuing to fight. Seems like they're struggling to control their emotions and actions even when given the opportunity to improve. Perhaps there's something deeper going on that we're not aware of. Honestly, they shouldn't be, because they were summoned here around the same time and they were not originally in the regular world. The mouth-raider raises an eyebrow in surprise, intrigued by this new information. That's interesting. So they were summoned here and weren't originally from the irregular world. I wonder if that has anything to do with their behavior. Could there be some sort of adjustment period they're going through? I don't know what's going on with those two. I care about them and I told them multiple times that I don't want to do anything harsh. But honestly, I'm running out of things to teach them a lesson with. If this meeting and that reward and punishment system don't fix it, it's going to be real trouble. The male Fragger nods solemnly, understanding the gravity of the situation. I can understand your frustration. It's clear you care deeply for them, but are struggling to find a way to get through to them. Their meeting and the reward and punishment system are definitely steps in the right direction. If they continue to misbehave, drastic measures may become necessary. Yeah, unfortunately, drastic measures are the worst thing, and I don't want to force them through it. The drastic measure would be me kicking them out and letting them experience how bad the real world is compared to here. The Valverde expression turns to one of concern upon hearing it. Just, I understand your hesitation. Kicking them out and letting them experience the harsh realities of the real world would be a last resort, especially if you care for them. It's a tough decision to make, and it's clear that you are trying to avoid it as much as possible. See, another reason I don't want to do that is because if they get caught by a trainer, it's going to be really hard to keep them safe. Malfoy, not acknowledging the risk involved, that's a valid concern. If they end up in the hands of a trainer, it would be difficult to ensure their safety and well-being. Seems like you're really stuck between a rock and a hard place here. I think I may have a plan. If it does come to that, I'm going to learn their name. That way, if I do need to get them out of the harm's way, I can use my magic by saying their names and getting them out of there. The male Fragger's expression turns to warm curiosity as he listens to my plan. That sounds like a good idea. Learning their names would certainly make it easier for you to locate and retrieve them if needed, using their magic. It's a good precautionary measure just in case the worst happens. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not going there yet, but if this meeting doesn't help and that reward punishment system doesn't, I might have no other choice. The male Fragger acknowledged understanding, his expression showing a mix of determination and sadness. I understand. It's good to have a plan in place just in case, but I hope it doesn't come to that. The meeting and the reward and punishment system are valuable tools, and I hope they help address the problem, but if not, you'll have to consider other options. Well, thank you for being awake. Make sure your entire family is ready, and I also make sure to tell your giant two-on chronon to be careful when they come. That way they don't accidentally hurt anybody whenever they come to the meeting. Yep. The male Fragger nods in agreement, appreciating the reminder. Of course, we'll all be ready and waiting for the meeting, and I'll make sure to remind the Electric Toto, regular Chronon, and Electric Fragger about being careful when they come. I assure you they're gentle creatures and would never purposely hurt anyone, but I'll pass on the message nonetheless. Yeah, I know that, but those are not your children. Your children or brothers are all around you. The one you mentioned aren't even from your family. The male Fragger nods, understanding your point. Ah, I see. You're right. Those creatures I mentioned are not from my family and are not my children. They're just other creatures that happen to be here. Thank you for clarifying that. I know that the giant Chronos son of yours just evolved yesterday and even helped me guard the gate when Lugia was resting. The male Fragger beams with pride at the mention of his son's evolution and protective actions. Ah, my son, the giant crocodile. Yes, he evolved just yesterday and took it upon himself to guard the gate when Lugia was taking a rest. I'm quite proud of him for being so responsible and diligent. Yeah, why was he acting so aggressive right after he evolved? The male Fragger's expression becomes pensive as he tries to recall the situation. After he evolved, he did act quite aggressively at first. I believe it's normal for a new evolution to experience a period of adjustment and adaptation, during which they may display heightened aggression or excitement. It's likely that he was simply adjusting to his new form and channeled it into the protective instincts. Well, that John Fragger son of yours did a great job. Wasn't his name Brutus? The male Fragger smiles fondly at the mention of his son's name. Yes, his name is Brutus, and I'm glad to hear he did a good job guarding the gate. He's a strong and capable Pokemon, and I'm proud of him for doing his part in keeping this community safe. There we go. We finally just. I'll let your family relax for a bit. The meeting will be in about 2 hours. It will be around this lake where you stay, actually, because you all and the other pond can relax in the water. Or if you don't want to do that, the other one can stay on the land and just sit down. Doesn't matter to me as long as everybody's paying attention. The male Fragger nods, appreciating the heads up about the meeting location. Thank you for letting us know. We'll take this time to relax until the meeting begins. The lake is a nice spot, and it's good to know the other Pokemon have the option to stay on land if they prefer. We'll be sure to pay attention and be present for the meeting. Good. I'll see everybody then. There we go. The male Frere nods at Tom. Excellent. We'll be here, relaxing, waiting for the meeting to start. See you then. About 2 hours pass. Yeah. The 2 hours pass. The male Frere and his family have been relaxing by the lake. They've been splashing around and enjoying the water while the others have been relaxing. Wow, it's time for the meeting to begin. Yep. Hey, Lugia, my divine raptor friend. Come here, you two. Lugia and divine raptor friend, respond to your call, or respond to my call and approach. You called? What is he requesting of us? Well, it's time for that meeting. Gather all the Pokemon and other creatures. There we go. There you go. Hey! Lugia and your Divine Raptor friend nod in understanding and begin to gather the Pokemon and other creatures as requested. After a few moments, a large group of Pokemon and other creatures have gathered around the lake, awaiting the start of the meeting. There you go. Alright. Oh boy. Alright, guys. Here's where we start the meeting. I just said, alright, everyone, I need you all to pay attention, because this meeting is not going to be very long. However, it's important that everybody knows this. The group of Pokemon and creatures listen intently, their attention focused on you as you prepare to share the important information. Okay, first off, you all know that you have been put on a special planet of mine. Does anybody know what the point of this planet is? There's a pause as the group of Pokemon and creatures consider the question. Some of them look thoughtful, while others look curious. There are a few voices speak up, some more confident than others. Is it a safe haven for all creatures? A place where we can live in peace and harmony? Somewhere we can call home? Yes. All three of you were right. Period. This is a special place that all of you can call home, where you have freedom, food, and plenty of space. No humans besides me are allowed here. Oh my gosh. Are allowed here. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, all three of you are right. This is a special place that all of you can call home where you can have freedom, food, and plenty of space. No humans besides me are allowed here. Yep. The group pull on and creatures nod in agreement, a sense of understanding and acceptance passing through them. Your words seem to resonate with them, and they appreciate the freedom and safety you offer. Some of them even without signs of relief or gratitude, knowing that they had a place to call home where they can live in peace. Listen. Let's see. Frick. I had a way to start continuing this, I can't remember now. Pause. It took a minute to figure out a way to continue this, guys, but like I said, this is kind of hard for me to be able to say the right way, but at least I'm getting it. It says, I know sometimes me, Lugia, the Divine Raptor here can be a little bit harsh, but understand that we are that way because we're trying to keep this place peaceful. The group of one and the creatures continue to listen intently as he speaks. Some of them nod in agreement, some of them even look a little sheepish as they remember times when they may have pushed the boundaries. But they understand that the firmness and occasional bouts of sternness are there for a reason to maintain the peace and harmony of their new home. I want you all to understand this. There's only one rule here that all of you have to follow. Do you all remember that one rule? Group of pawing creatures pause for a moment, contemplating the one rule you mentioned. After a few seconds of silence, a couple of voices speak up, remind the group of their important guideline. No fighting or aggression towards one another. Harmony and peace must be maintained. Exactly. Respect and kindness are key. Yes. Just think. There's only that one rule. And you get all of this stuff. And get to live here. Period. The group of pawn and the creatures seem to acknowledge the fondness of the simplicity of the rule. They understand that by adhering to this one guideline, they get to enjoy a peaceful and harmonious life. Some of them exchange knowing glances, seemingly glad that the rule is straightforward and easy to follow. Except for those two. I understand that most of you understand this one rule. But there is two Pokemon particularly that keep wanting to fight. And that's why you can see that massive 15-foot tall. Oh my gosh, I put rule. Why are the group of pulling the creatures toward the massive larger fragger, their expressions varying from surprise to concern. Some of them seem to understand which two point you're referring to, while others seem puzzled and curious about the situation. More of intrigue pass through the crowd as they try to figure out why these two particular points are causing trouble despite the clear rule. Originally, there was not even going to be a meeting. But these two Pokemon need to understand why living here is so good. There we go. And I also want to make sure everybody else understands this as well and are not taking it for granted. There. Move on, agrees not understanding. Realizing that the meeting isn't just about correcting the wrongdoings of the two children on Pokemon, but also about recognizing and appreciating the benefits of living in this special place. Some of them exchange knowing looks, acknowledging that this gathering is an effort as opportunity to refocus and reaffirm their commitment to respecting the one rule that maintain the peace. Again, guys, keep note of that. There's only one flipping rule when it comes to living here: no fighting. If you do that, you get to have this whole place. It has food. You have plenty of space. You have friends and family that can be there. I have all these full magical powers that can really do anything to make the Pokemon creature there happy. Oh, something bad happened to my pet dog. I can instantly bring it back for you right then. Oh, you need your pet dog back? Boom, right there. Let me show you one of the first creatures that I put here. Period. That divine raptor that watches over everybody. He was one of the first creatures that got put here. And he's over there. There you go. Move on, creatures turn their attention toward the mentioned divine rider, showing interest and acknowledge that he was one of the first creatures to be placed in this special place. A few of them whisper among themselves, exchanging intrigued glances as they watch the divine rider calmly observing the crowd. Originally, he was going to be a normal creature and live life as a baby until he grew up. Period. But he was so excited to get the role of watching over my planet that he wanted me to grow him up instantly. There we go. The group of quantum creatures within my words would rapt attention, amazed by the eagerness and enthusiasm of the divine raptor. Some of them look fascinated by the idea of a creature skipping its normal life cycle and letting its growth for a specific purpose. It's not just you get all this great stuff for following the one rule. But remember, I have all these special powers. that can make you even happier. Period. Look over there at Pearl and Crocodile. Over there. Period. They are that big because of my magic. The group of Hawaiian creatures shift their attention to the mentioned Tohono, their eyes widening in awe at the sheer size of the creatures. They mutter amongst themselves, pretending the power it takes to magically increase a creature's size like that. There are even a few comments about how impressive and intimidating the creatures look. Their height and size add an air strength to their appearance. That's not all. I can turn you into a different creature if you want, or even summon another creature similar to that. Or Lugia. Both of them were summoned by my magic. And my magic also gave that divine raptor the power he has. There we go. Group and creatures listen with growing astonishment as you reveal the extensive power of my magic. The idea of being capable of having similar creatures summoned by your power ignites curiosity and excitement with a month. Some of them exchange whispers, wondering what it would be like to have such abilities, while others marvel at the magnitude of your magic's capabilities. Have those two Pokemon been paying attention? Rare shake his head, knowing that the people in question have not been paying attention. Of course, they. Okay, I want to address everybody this again. There is only one rule here, and you get all this good stuff. Do you see why I had this meeting in the first place? Everyone, The group one and creatures not in agreement fully comprehend the reason behind the mating. Some of them are more vocal, sharing thoughts like, "Yeah, we understand the importance of the role." Others express gratitude for the gifts and benefits they receive in return. For thought still, those still paying attention, continues to glance towards the two pawn while having causing trouble, hence sternness in his gaze. I need to give it a name for him. This meeting is not going to be much longer. Make sure those two pay attention, at least for this last part. We're noticing their voice turns his focus towards the two troublesome Pokemon. He gives them a stern look as a reminder to pay attention and listen to the rest of the meeting. He stands there with determination, signaling that he will keep a watchful eye on the pair, sure they stay engaged and attentive during their remaining part of the gathering. Now, everyone, for this last part, I'm going to show you why living here is so good, with a few demonstrations. There we go. The group of one the group of pawn and creatures listen intently, their curiosity piqued by the promise of demonstrations. Some of them sit in their spot, eager to witness the examples you're about to showcase and learn more about the advantages of living in this special place. Oh, great power. Power that I possess. Please make a human kid appear. I snap my fingers. Uh, a human. Oh my gosh. Coming through out of thin air in the middle of the gathering, the kid looks around seemingly disoriented and confused about their sudden appearance. Some of the creatures in form look intrigued while others exchange questions what you have planned. Okay. Now, one of the biggest perks to living here is the fact that you don't have to worry about humans coming into this space and trying to capture you. Period. I am the only human here. And you know I'm not gonna capture or hurt any of you. Horn creatures listen to my words, a sense of understanding passing through them as you explain their freedom from human capture and harm within this space. Some of them nod in agreement, expressing relief at the reassurance that you, as the only human present, pose no threat to them. A whole atmosphere of safety and peace prevails. Some of the creatures seem even emit soft, content sounds. Oh, great power that I possess. Replace this kid with a hurt and abandoned Totodile. I'll say hologram because I don't want to open. I snap my fingers. Oh, but is this what Totodile? It put Totodile, not. Oh, come on. The human key vanishes and a holographic projection of a hurt and abandoned Totodile appear in its place. The hologram projects an image of a distressed and weak Totodile, its virtual form mimicking the appearance and emotions of a creature forcing hardship. The sight of the holographic Totodile tugs at the hearts of some of the Pokemon creatures. Their sympathetic instincts ignited. This is one of the things that can happen in the real world. Period. You could have a trainer that doesn't treat you the best and may even do something like this. Just abandon you. The group of Hawaiian creatures listen attentively. Their eyes fixate on the hologram with a hurt and abandoned Totodile. Some of them exchange somber glances, recognizing the potential for abandonment and mistreatment in the real world. Moments of disappointment and sadness pass through the crowd as they acknowledge the harsh realities that creatures can face outside of this safe haven. There's even worse. Period. Oh, great power that I possess. Make the hologram change to a that is getting mistreated and not being fed. The hologram with the hologram of the hurt and abandoned toad transformed into a different scene, and now depicts a toad being mistreated and not being fed properly. Hologram shows the toad in a state of distress. It's emanating appearance, emphasizing the consequences of neglect and mistreatment. The poor creatures watch the new hologram with a mixture of shock and sorrow, confined with a more dire situation of mistreatment and starvation. I actually met this months ago, and he ended up passing away. Before I even saw him. The group point and creatures react with surprising and sadness upon hearing your revelation about the Toadow's fate. Some of them lower their heads, expressing grief for the creature's loss. Murmurs of sympathy and condolences pass through the crowd. Actually, when I found him, he was very angry and was a very wanted revenge on people for what they did to him. Period. I showed him love and affection, and now we're friends. The group of Hawaiian creatures listened intently, their interest piqued by your revelation about the angry Toad seeking vengeance and finding friendship. Some of them exchanged looks, sensing the healing power of love and affection in the situation. Appreciate the positive changes in the bond you created with the Toad Owl. I have one more that I really want to show you, and then I will tell you about my personal experience. The group point and the creature not in agreement. They're causing further, I hate that word, further extended by the promise of a personal experience in another demonstration. Main attentive rate to absorb information and hear about your first-hand account. Oh, great power. Power that I possess. Please change the hologram to be a hurt baby Lugia with an injured wing in the woods. An injured wing in the woods. As you issue a command, the hologram transforms, now showing a hurt and injured baby Lugia with an incapacitated wing lying alone in the woods. Hologram depicts the young Lugia in a vulnerable state, its injured condition evident and seeking evoking a sense of sympathy and concern from the watching creatures. This was another creature I found hurt in the woods. Period. His name was Silver. And he was hurt badly. The group of pulmonary creatures listened with sympathy as they introduced the hologram of the injured baby Lugia named Silver. Some of them expressed looks of concern and sadness for the young Lugia's condition, their empathetic instinct engaged by the sight of a young creature in need. I actually helped this Lugia heal and even learn to fly. And to this day, me and him are still friends. Even years later. There we go. The group of pulmonary creatures reacted with admiration and appreciation for your commitment to helping the baby Lugia Silver. They seemed moved by the fact that your aid not only allowed the young Lugia to heal, also allowed him to achieve the feat of flying. Their whispers of approval and gratitude among them, recognizing the bond of friendship that has lasted over the years. He actually decided to start his own family. And now he's got two beautiful children, Melody and Aurora. That's adorable, dude. I love it. Group 1 and creature expressed their joy and excitement upon learning that Silver had started his own family and had two children named Melody and Aurora. They seemed pleased that your actions have not only healed one wound, you also the foundation of a new generation. Whispered congratulations and delight passed through the gathering as they share in the happiness of Silver's newfound family. Okay. Now, before I show you my personal experience that was not good, did these demonstrations show you how good you have it here? There we go. Group 1 creatures nod in unison, their expression reflecting a mix of understanding and gratitude for the demonstrations you've provided. Some of them exchange glances, acknowledging the contrast between the harsh realities depicted in the holograms and the safe and nurturing environment they currently inhabit under your care. Now, before I show you my personal experience, let me make sure. Did those pay attention? My electric. There we go. The mouth of Woodward Forever nods his head, signaling that the 2 point in question, who had been struggling to pay attention, has been finally focused their attention on your words. Okay. Now. Do you see why me and Lugia have been trying to get you to stop fighting. Do you see how harsh the real world can be? Now, what I mean we get trying to get you to stop fighting. You see how hard the real world is, and why living here is so good. Dude. Alright, guys. I'll be back.